Okay, so the endomembrane system. So the learning outcome for this subtopic is to outline the relationship among component of endomembrane system. So when we talk about component of endo maksudnya inner or inside lah. Alright, so in that case, endomembrane system is referred to a system inside the membrane, a system that we have inside the membrane of a cell. Okay, that is endomembrane system. Okay, first thing first, you need to know what are the component of endomembrane system. The component of endomembrane system includes plasma membrane, okay, nuclear envelope, right? Endoplasmic reticulum or ER, okay, Golgi apparatus, okay, lysosome, and also vacuole. All right, okay. So why are these, right, component are considered as part of the endomembrane system? First, because they are directly continuous, meaning to say antara satu komponen dengan satu komponen dalam endomembrane system ni bersambung atau berhubung sama ada secara langsung atau tidak langsung. Right? So they are directly continuous or they are connected via vesicle. Vesicle tu apa? Yang ada bentuk bulat tu. So itu kita panggil sebagai vesicle. So endomembrane system also have diverse function and also structures, right? For example, to synthesize protein, to transport protein out of the cell. Okay, right. So now let's see how they are actually connected. How they are actually connected among one another, right? So I am going to show you this one first. Okay, tak apa, madam, lukis dulu lah. Right. So I'm going to draw you something like, okay. Okay, so I'm going to draw you a cell. Okay, let's say we are talking about a cell right now. Okay, ini satu cell. Sel apa ni? Let's say this is pancreatic cell. Okay, pancreas contohnya. Right, so ini adalah pancreas kita. And this is the nuclear envelope. Right, dalam ni ada DNA. So this is, okay, this is nuclear envelope. Alright, of course, this one is plasma membrane. Okay, and then, okay, pancreatic cell. Apa tugas pancreatic cell? Okay, pancreatic cell tugas dia adalah untuk secrete, merembeskan insulin contohnya. Insulin tu apa? Insulin adalah sejenis hormon. So meaning to say hormon ialah protein. So insulin is a protein that has been modified into hormone. And what is the function of insulin? Insulin ni perlu dirembeskan oleh pancreas untuk reduce the blood sugar. Okay, untuk menurunkan kadar gula dalam darah. Okay, now, so this is pancreatic cell, as you can see from this picture. So this is pancreatic cell, right? So dekat dengan pancreatic cell ni, you can see that this is nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope is continuous. Okay, contohlah Okay, it is continuous. You can see that the nuclear envelope is continuous. Dia bersambung dengan ER. Okay, so yang ni yang madam lukis ni adalah rough ER. Sebab apa, kenapa nama dia rough ER? Anyone can answer?
Ada ribosome.
Very good. Okay, so this is, this is rough ER. Rough ER, because you can see there is ribosome attached to the rough ER. So this is ribosome. Okay, right. So you can see that this nuclear envelope is actually continuous kepada ribosome. Continuous kepada rough ER. Right. After that, we can see that in the cell, right? Contohlah dekat sini. Contohnya, we have flattened membranous sac, membrane yang bertingkat-tingkat, right? Namanya apa?
Golgi.
Very good. So namanya Golgi apparatus. Make sure Golgi kena tulis G kena huruf besar Golgi apparatus. Right. So what happened is you can see that macam mana rough ER is actually connected to Golgi apparatus. It is connected via vesicle. So daripada rough ER ni ada vesicle, right? Where the protein will be transported into vesicle and the vesicle then will be transported into Golgi apparatus. Vesicle tu akan pergi kepada Golgi, right? And after that, from Golgi, you will have vesicle, right? Or vacuole. Daripada Golgi itulah. So ini kita panggil vacuole, right? Or it can be, maybe this vesicle also is modified into lysosome. Okay, so depends. So ini adalah vacuole ataupun lysosome, right? Where this vacuole later on will be transported to the plasma membrane. Dia akan bergabung dengan plasma membrane and it will be secreting the product. Example, insulin. The example is insulin. So this is how you can see how the structures or the endomembrane system are actually connected, right? Continuously or via vesicle as they are having similar function ataupun dia ada fungsi yang berkaitan. Okay, right. Let's see from here juga. You may have this picture in the textbook. Okay, so you can see, okay, again, this is what I'm saying that the nuclear envelope is connected to the ER. Okay, and this is, you can see how ER is connected to Golgi via vesicle. This one, right? And you can see how the vesicle then fuse to the Golgi apparatus, right? And from there, the vesicle will be give rise into lysosome or other vacuoles. So you can see this is the vacuole or lysosome that later on will be transported to the membrane. So the plasma membrane will expand and fuse with the vesicle. So the protein will be secreted. Protein akan dirembeskan. Right? Okay. So, right. So to explain the process, so you need to know this is the relationship of endomembrane system, how protein flow that is destined for secretion. Okay. So, this is the flow of protein. Macam mana ataupun apa yang akan terjadi dengan protein kalau protein tu dia punya function adalah untuk dirembeskan. Secretion, rembes. Dirembeskan. Okay, yang pertama. Protein that is synthesized on the ribosome will be transported into the cisternae or into the lumen of ER. Okay, ini yang pertama. Protein yang telah dihasilkan will be transported into the cisternae ataupun dalam rongga-rongga of the ER. Okay, mana rongga-rongga ER? Okay, yang ini. You can see here. Nampak tak ni? Protein yang dihasilkan dekat ribosome ni akan transport dalam lumen. So, this is lumen. Ni, rongga-rongga yang nampak ni dalam ER ni kita panggil lumen ataupun cisternae. Okay, you may ask in case you have anything to ask, okay? Right. So, first protein that is synthesized on ribosome will be transported into the cisternae ataupun lumen of the ER. Okay, lepas tu, apa jadi dekat protein tu? The protein will be modified, right? So, the protein will be modified by addition of carbohydrate. Okay, by addition of carbohydrate. Benda ni berlaku kat mana? Berlaku dalam lumen of ER. It happened inside the lumen of ER. So meaning to say, you can see that this is one function of rough ER. Function of rough ER whereby it helps to modify protein by addition of carbohydrate. Dia tambahkan karbohidrat kepada protein. Okay, right. So once protein is modified by addition of carbohydrate, so what happened to the protein? The protein will be transported by vesicle. So transport vesicle will transport the glycoprotein from ER to Golgi apparatus via cis phase, melalui cis phase. Ingat, transport vesicle, Golgi ada dua muka, right? Cis phase and also trans phase. Okay, so transport vesicle, transport glycoprotein to Golgi apparatus via cis phase. Okay, ni yang mana? Ni yang ni. This one. So you can see product from protein that has been modified in Golgi will be transported in a vesicle to Golgi apparatus via cis phase. So ini adalah bahagian cis phase of Golgi apparatus. Okay, so vesicle ni akan pergi kepada Golgi apparatus dekat kawasan atau bahagian cis phase. Okay, next, what happened inside Golgi? In Golgi, protein will be further modified. Protein akan terus diubah suai in the Golgi apparatus. So this is function of Golgi apparatus. Okay, so contohnya apa? Protein yang tadi ni akan ditukar kepada insulin contohnya. Tukarkan kepada hormon, tukarkan kepada apa-apalah, mucus ke apa ke whatever. Okay, right. So lepas diubah suai, next, another transport vesicle will transport the modified glycoprotein from Golgi apparatus via transphase to plasma membrane. Okay, vesicle will transport modified glycoprotein from Golgi apparatus via transphase, right, to plasma membrane. Okay, maksud dia apa? Maksud dia kat sini. Okay, you can see here, this is what happened to the protein inside Golgi. It will be further modified in the Golgi apparatus, and lepas tu, protein tu will be transported out in a vesicle via transphase. Tadi cis, yang ni trans. Trans, awak ingat je transport ataupun transfer. Protein tu dah nak ditransfer dah. Right, nak dibawa keluar dah daripada Golgi apparatus. Right, and then the vesicle will be transported towards plasma membrane. So vesicle tu akan fuse dengan plasma membrane, and then next what happen? Content will be released out from the cell via exocytosis. So content, in this case, let's say hormon tu tadi will be released out, akan dirembes keluar daripada pancreatic cell via exocytosis. Exo tu maksudnya apa? Awak ingat E, awak ingat EX, awak ingat exit. Okay, meaning component ataupun substances is actually released or transported out of the cell. So kita panggil exocytosis. Substances, molecule is transported out of the cell. Okay, so that is exocytosis. Alright, so you can see here, the content will be released out from the cell. Okay, so similar to apa yang Madam lukis tadi. You can see here, the product, for example, insulin will be released out via exocytosis. Kejap. Okay, all right, next one. Okay, so soalan, Madam, mana pergi produk yang dah release daripada sel tu? So for this case, like insulin, lepas dia rembes, dia akan masuk dalam salur darah. Okay, dia akan dibawa masuk ke dalam salur darah dan dia akan rendahkan kandungan gula. Okay, ditukarkan gula kepada glycogen. So dalam darah, semua tu berlaku dalam darah kita. Okay, right. So that is endomembrane system. Okay, any question for endomembrane system?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Okay, so hopefully anything that you want to copy, just let me know. Kalau memang terlalu laju ke apa ke, okay? All right. So again, this is the component of endomembrane system. You can see the nuclear envelope. You can see the rough ER. Okay, you can see Golgi apparatus. Okay, the vesicle, the plasma membrane. Okay, right. So these are all component of endomembrane system. Okay, right. And this is what happened to the ni adalah, this one is rough ER, because how did you know that is rough ER? Because you can see they are ribosome. So you can see product from ER just now is transported to Golgi, right? Again, let's see again. Okay, you can see product is transported to Golgi apparatus. So this is cis phase, right? And in Golgi, the product will be modified inside Golgi apparatus. And after modification, you can see that the product will be sending out ataupun transported out from the Golgi apparatus via vesicle, and then bind to plasma membrane, and then release out via exocytosis. Okay, all right. Okay, so next we will continue discussing about cell structure and also function. So kita dah bincang pasal nucleus, dah bincang pasal ribosome, right? Dah bincang pasal smooth and rough ER, okay? Golgi apparatus, lysosome and vacuole, right? Now next, let's discuss about mitochondria, chloroplast, and also other components, okay? Right. Okay, next we go to the mitochondria. So mitochondria is another ataupun one of the organelle found in the cell. So dia adalah organelle lah. Selain daripada lysosome, selain daripada ER, selain daripada nucleus, kan? So ni mitochondria also is one of the organelle in the membrane, in the cell. Okay, you can see that mitochondria has double membrane. Mitochondria juga ada dua membrane. They are, you can see the inner membrane. So this is inner membrane, yang berlipat-lipat tu inner membrane. And this is the outer membrane. Okay, so kalau kita lukis, gambar dia macam ni. Bulat macam ni, and bahagian dalam berlipat-lipat macam ni. So this is mitochondria. So this one is outer membrane. Okay, and this one is the inner membrane. Alright, so between outer and inner membrane, antara membran luar dan membran dalam, kita ada membran tengah yang kita panggil sebagai intermembrane space. Okay, antara membran luar dan membran dalam, we call as intermembrane space. Okay, alright. Next, what else that you can find in mitochondria are, the first one is cristae. Cristae tu apa? Cristae ialah lipatan-lipatan inner membrane tu kita panggil sebagai cristae. Okay, lipatan-lipatan inner membrane kita panggil sebagai cristae. Ni, cristae. Okay, a part of that, matrix. This is matrix. Matrix tu apa? Matrix tu yang macam seolah-olah cytoplasm of mitochondria. Tapi kita tak panggil cytoplasm, we call it as matrix. So this is matrix. Matrix of mitochondria. So what you can find inside the matrix of mitochondria? You can find yang bulat-bulat tu tadi. Bulat-bulat tu. So yang bulat-bulat tu adalah ribosome. Okay, and you also can find mitochondrial DNA, bentuk gelang. Okay, so ini kita panggil mitochondria DNA. Mitochondrial DNA. Okay, right. So these are structure that you can found inside a mitochondria. Okay, right. Let's see. Okay, next. Mitochondria can be found in almost all eukaryotes, protists, fungi, animal cell, and also plant cell. Okay. The function of mitochondria is the site of cellular respiration. Tempat berlakunya proses respirasi. Proses respirasi itu untuk apa? To generate ATP ataupun kita panggil sebagai energy. Untuk menghasilkan tenaga kepada sel. Okey, macam kilang tenaga lah ataupun pencawang TNB untuk hasilkan elektrik itu dalam untuk sel ialah mitochondria. Okey, power generator. Alright. Okay, next. So mitochondria is bounded by double membrane. Tadi, the outer membrane and also the inner membrane. Okay. Next, the number of mitochondria varies by organism, tissue or cell type. Maksudnya dalam setiap sel ataupun organism, jumlah mitochondria tu berbeza-beza mengikut jenis-jenis sel, okay, jenis-jenis organisma, tisu dan sebagainya. Contoh, cell that move or contract proportionally, sel yang lagi banyak digunakan. Okay, contohnya sel yang lagi banyak kena guna, right? Lagi banyaklah mitochondria dia. Macam itulah berbanding dengan sel yang tidak aktif. So lagi banyak sel kita tu memerlukan ataupun contohnya muscle kita, total muscle muscle sangat perlu nak kecut-kecut kan, nak contract muscle kita, nak contract apa semua perlu banyak kan tenaga. So dalam muscle sangat banyak mitochondria. Okay, right. So mitochondria also has ribosome and DNA. Kat mana jumpa ribosome dengan DNA ni? Dekat dia punya matrix. Okay, matrix of mitochondria. Alright? Okay. Okay, next. The outer membrane. The outer membrane of mitochondria is smooth and the inner membrane of mitochondria is convoluted. Convoluted maksudnya berlipat-lipat. Yang macam Madam lukis tadi lah. Right? So the inner membrane is convoluted that we call as cristae. Okay, alright. So the inner membrane has two compartments. Bahagian inner membrane membentuk dua kompartmen. Yang pertama, intermembrane space. Ingat balik intermembrane space yang mana? Yang ruang antara outer membrane and inner membrane. And number two is mitochondrial matrix. Yang mana satu matrix? Yang ini, yang warna hijau ni. Kawasan yang warna hijau tu semua adalah matrix. Right? So that is the inner membrane compartments. Okay. Okay. Some metabolic step of cellular respiration is catalyzed by enzyme in the matrix. So, kebanyakan proses metabolisme related to respirasi sel. Okay, proses respirasi tadi ingat? Cell respiration untuk apa? To produce ATP tadi tu. Right? So, the process that involve in the production of ATP tu, most of it involve enzyme in the matrix of mitochondria. Okay, right. Cristae. Ingat balik, cristae itu apa? Cristae is the inner membrane that is folded. Right? So, cristae provide large surface area for the enzyme that used to synthesize ATP. Okay, itu sebab kenapa Allah ciptakan inner membrane of mitochondria tu berlipat-lipat macam ni. Dia berlipat-lipat macam ni. Untuk apa? Untuk increase dia punya surface area. Luas permukaan. So, bila luas permukaan lebih besar, maka lebih banyak ATP dapat dihasilkan. Alright? Okay. So, mitochondria is semi-autonomous organelle. Apa maksud semi-autonomous organelle? Auto maksudnya macam automatic kan? Okay. Semi-autonomous organelle means, kenapa kita panggil sebagai semi-autonomous? Sebab dia boleh reproduce independently. Okay, kenapa dia boleh reproduce independently? Kenapa dia boleh, maksudnya apa maksud reproduce independently ni? Sebab dia boleh replicate themselves kerana they have their own DNA. Kan, mitokondria ada DNA sendiri. So, bila dia ada DNA sendiri, maka dia boleh duplicate sendiri. So, maksudnya dia boleh daripada satu mitokondria, dia boleh jadi 2 mitokondria. Alright, so maksudnya dia boleh membahagi sendiri ataupun dia boleh replicate themselves sendiri kerana dia ada dia punya dia punya own DNA. So semi-autonomous organelle means they have organelle that have DNA which enable them to replicate or to reproduce independently of the nucleus. Okay, dia boleh membahagi sendiri. Alright, so that is meant by semi-autonomous organelle. Okay, ni kena salin kan? Okay, dah salin ke?
Dah salin.
Okay. Alright, okay, so that is the definition of mitochondria that is considered as semi-autonomous organelle. Okay, right. Okay, next one, chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplast, remember, chloroplast only found in the plant cell. And some protists also do have chloroplast. Tapi yang penting, chloroplast ada dalam plant cell but not in animal cell. Chloroplast tak ada dalam animal cell. Okay, now let's see the structure of chloroplast. Okay, bentuk dia sama, lebih kurang macam mitochondria, right? Where it has double membrane. So, outer membrane and inner membrane. So, kalau kita lukis, dia macam ni. Outer membrane. And this is the inner membrane. So, ni inner membrane. Alright? Okay, next, cytoplasma of chloroplast kita panggil sebagai stroma. Okay, so ini kawasan ni kita panggil sebagai stroma. Kalau kat mitokondria kita panggil matrix. So kalau kat sini kita panggil stroma. Okay, what you can found inside the stroma? You can found stack of thylakoid. Ni macam ni, duit shilling bertingkat-tingkat macam ni. So duit shilling bertingkat-tingkat ni kita panggil sebagai, setiap satu ni namanya thylakoid. Right? Tapi dia dah bertingkat-tingkat-tingkat tu kita panggil sebagai, keseluruhannya kita panggil sebagai granum. Granum. Okay? Dan dia ada penghubung antara satu granum dengan granum yang lain. Okay. What else that you can found inside the stroma? You can found, sama juga bintik-bintik bulat-bulat, iaitu ribosom. So dia pun ada ribosom. Macam mitochondria. Right? And lastly, dia sama juga macam mitochondria that it has DNA. Alright. So this is the structure of chloroplast. Okay? Right. Okay. So chloroplast is a member of family of organelle that called as plastid. So maksudnya nama general dia adalah plastid. Plastid ni ada banyak jenis. Salah satu jenis plastid ialah chloroplast. Okay. So chloroplast is bounded by double membrane, right? It is found in leaves and other green organs, in plant or algae. Algae rumpai. Okay. Right. So a chloroplast has ribosome and DNA. right? And it has presence of membranous system called as thylakoids. Membranous system in chloroplast we call as thylakoids. Ingat thylakoids tu yang mana? Yang duit shilling sekeping-sekeping bertingkat-tingkat tu, this is thylakoids. Okay, so the thylakoid is interconnected set of flat membranous sac. So dia adalah interconnected set yang berhubung antara satu dengan yang lain, alright? That we call as thylakoid. And some are stacked, some are bertingkat-tingkat ataupun berlapis-lapis, that we call as granum. Okay, so chlorophyll pigment is in the thylakoid membrane. Chlorophyll pigment ialah pigment yang memberikan warna hijau salah satunya kepada tumbuhan. Okay, inilah chlorophyll pigment, pigment yang memberi warna kepada tumbuhan. Okay, right. Warna apa? Hijau, macam kuning-kuning sikit tu. So that is chlorophyll pigment. Okay. Okay, next. Space is divided into 3 compartments. So chloroplast space is divided into 3 compartments. Number 1 is intermembrane space. Ingat intermembrane space tu apa? Space antara outer membrane and inner membrane. So kita panggil sebagai inter lah. Ni ha. Sorry. This one. Intermembrane space is the space between outer and inner membrane. Okay. And then number 2, next compartment is stroma. So which one is stroma? Right. So yang kawasan tengah-tengah tu, stroma. So the stroma is fluid-filled space that contain DNA, ribosome, and also enzymes. Okay. And number 3 is thylakoid space. Thylakoid space tu apa, madam? Ingat tak tadi yang madam cakap duit shilling bertingkat-tingkat tu? Yang sekeping-sekeping ni adalah thylakoid. Tapi kalau thylakoid tu kita potong dekat tengah-tengah, you akan nampak dia ada rongga-rongga. Dia ada rongga kat dalam ni. Macam donat, kalau kita potong 2, kita nampak yang bahagian tepung yeast tu, itu kita panggil sebagai thylakoid space. Okay, right. Macam itulah. Right, so these are the 3 compartment in chloroplast. Okay. Alright, so ingat image is very important. Okay, komponen-komponen you kena kenal pasti which one is which. Okay, so now we have seen mitochondria and chloroplast. So you can see that there are some similarity between both mitochondria and chloroplast, and there are differences between mitochondria and chloroplast. Okay, so you can see that both have very usable function. For example, to convert food to usable energy or to generate energy. Contoh, mitochondria. Mitochondria involved in cellular respiration to produce ATP, untuk menghasilkan ATP. Alright? Tetapi, you can see for chloroplast, the function is to involve in photosynthesis. Right? Involve in photosynthesis. Apa maksud photosynthesis tu? Inilah function dia. To convert food. To use ataupun to break down sugar. Okay, right, photosynthesis. Break down sugar pula. To use carbon dioxide, right, and to convert carbon dioxide ataupun to use carbon dioxide in order to produce oxygen. Salah satunya lah, right? Photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is a process where plant use carbon dioxide dan dia akan tukarkan carbon dioxide tu kepada oxygen dan juga gula. Okay? Okay, photosynthesis is a process where carbon dioxide is converted into oxygen and also sugar. Right. So, apa persamaan mereka? Similarity. Similarities of both mitochondria and chloroplast are, so both mitochondria and chloroplast are known as semi-autonomous organelle. Kedua-duanya adalah semi-autonomous organelle. Ingat balik, what is definition of semi-autonomous organelle? They can replicate themselves right? Because they have their own DNA. Alright? Okay. And number 2, what are their similarities? Both of them have DNA and also ribosome. So that is mitochondria and chloroplast. Okay. Okay, any question? Any question?
No.
No? Okay, alright. So, tak ada soalan, Madam teruskan. Okay. Next, we go to the next LO. The next LO is to describe the structure of cell wall and their function. Our next LO is to explore the cell wall itself. Right, ingat, bila kata cell wall can be found in plant cell, salah satunya. Another one, it can be found in bacteria. But now we are talking about the cell wall of plant. Okay, so now we are going to identify and describe the structure of cell wall and list its function. So your LO is identify and describe. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so the cell wall is one of the extracellular component, right, between cells. Right, extracellular component, komponen tambahan yang menghubungkan ataupun komponen luar yang menghubungkan satu sel dengan sel yang lain. So number 1 is cell wall, number 2 is intercellular junction. Intercellular junction, inter maksudnya antara. Cellular, cell. Junction, persimpangan lah ataupun penghubung lah. Penghubung ataupun persimpangan antara sel dengan sel. Okay, so that is intercellular junction. So we are going to discuss the cell wall first. Okay. Okay, cell wall. Okay, cell wall found in plants, prokaryotes, fungi, and also some protists. Okay, so cell wall can be found in plant. Ingat balik, plant cell wall is made of cellulose. Prokaryote like bacteria, the cell wall is made of, siapa ingat? Pep? Tengok nota. Pepti? Pepti? Sudah, lupa dah. Pepti? Peptido?
Peptidoglycan.
Peptidoglycan. Thank you very much. Peptidoglycan. Okay. So fungi also have cell wall. Cell wall of fungi is made of, siapa ingat? Jauh dia bunyi. Very good. Chitin. Okay, right. And some proteins. So these are cell walls. So different organism has different component of the cell wall that we have discussed before. Okay. In plant, the cell wall is made of cellulose microfibril embedded in the matrix of protein and other polysaccharide. Maksudnya the cellulose dia bercampur dengan proteins and plus with other polysaccharide. Gula complex. Polysaccharide is complex sugar. Okay, so down here you can see example of organism that have cell wall like fungi, kulat ni, right? Dia pun ada cell wall, plant cell, and these are protists. Contoh protists, this one, water mold. Water mold tu apa? Kulat air. Apa maksud kulat air tu, madam? Ingat tak? Contoh, bila kita mandi air terjun ke, mandi air sungai ke, dekat batu tu kan ada lumut-lumut, licin tu. So that is water mold. Okay, right. So water mold pun ada cell wall. Okay, next. Okay, so kita start dengan young plant. Pokok-pokok muda. right? So young plant relatively have thin and flexible wall. Okay, tumbuhan-tumbuhan muda, pokok-pokok baru nak naik, so dia ada cell wall, tapi cell wall dia nipis dan flexible. Flexible sebab tu kita boleh, dia boleh macam patah, sangat senang patah, right? Okay tu. So that kind of cell wall kita panggil sebagai primary cell wall. Okay, right? Next is component middle lamella. What is middle lamella? Middle lamella is between the primary wall of the adjacent cell. Antara primary wall dengan sel yang sebelahnya ada middle lamella. Okay, nanti Meda tunjuk what is middle lamella. So the middle lamella is thin layer that rich with sticky polysaccharides that we call as pectin. So dia adalah gula kompleks. Okay, apa nama? Pectins. Okay, so this middle lamella help to glue adjacent cell together. Satu plant cell, let's say this is one plant cell, this is another plant cell. Okay, so tengah-tengah antara plant cell dengan plant cell yang lain ni ada middle lamella. Alright, so the middle lamella helps to glue the plant cell together. Sebab tu sifat dia, it's sticky. Alright, that composed of polysaccharide known as pectin. Okay, right. Next, when the plant cell is mature and stop growing, so bila pokok dah makin matured, makin tua dan dah stop growing, it will strengthen the wall. Some plant cells secrete hardening substances into the primary wall. Sesetengah tumbuhan akan merembeskan agen pengeras. Ni, hardening substances. Bahan yang akan mengeras into the primary wall. Some plant cell yang lain will add secondary cell wall. Another plant will add another wall yang kita panggil sebagai secondary wall between the plasma membrane and the primary wall. So the secondary wall lebih tebal, right? It's thick, strong and durable dan tahan lah, right? So dia keras, dia tebal, dia kuat dan dia tahan. For example, wood, kayu kayan lah. Pokok-pokok berkayu biasanya mempunyai secondary walls. Okay, and the wall will be perforated by plasmodesmata. Dan dinding itu akan berongga, right? Perforated means dia akan berongga ataupun ada liang-liang, mempunyai liang, right? That we call as plasmodesmata. Berliang, okay? Alright. So let's see the picture. Okay. This picture is very important, meaning to say you have to know how to differentiate which one is primary wall, which one is secondary wall and whatnot. Okay, right. So first, let's go and look at the picture. The orange color. So again, this is one plant cell. This is another plant cell. This is another plant cell. So satu plant cell dengan plant cell yang lain is glued together by middle lamella. So you tengok yang warna orange tu adalah middle lamella. So ini adalah, Medan tunjuk ini ialah cell number 1 contohnya. So yang sebelah yang sini adalah plant cell number 2. So nampak tak yang orange tu? Bahagian yang orange tu, tengah-tengah tu kita panggil sebagai middle lamella. Okay, right. So that joining one plant cell to another plant cell. Okay. So selepas middle lamella, siapa? Okay, let's say. Selepas middle lamella, layer yang mana? Ni kena tahu ya, semua orang. Selepas middle lamella, betul-betul sebelah middle lamella, you can see that layer yang agak nipis. Okay? Betul-betul sebelah middle lamella ialah primary cell wall. Okay? And next one is yang lebih tebal, yang ini. Right? Yang ini ialah plasma membrane. Ni. This is plasma membrane. Right? Ni pun sama, plasma membrane. So yang betul-betul sebelah plasma membrane tebal, that is secondary wall. Okay, ingat sifat dinding yang kedua, dia lebih tebal. Tebal dan dia lebih keras lah. Alright, okay. Okay, so now let's see your picture that you have to label. Okay, ingat balik. So, yang warna merah, sekejap, Madam lukis dulu. You can see this is actually one plant cell. This is one plant cell. This is another plant cell. This one number 2. Right? So, pembahagi ataupun things that joining plant cell number 1 or cell number 1 and cell number 2 is middle lamella. Right, so yang warna orange tu is middle lamella. So you have to label middle lamella. Okay, so next, yang warna yellow. Yellow tu adalah betul-betul sebelah middle lamella. Right, you can see yang yellow ni betul-betul sebelah or adjacent to the middle lamella. So it is the primary cell wall. Okay, right. And which one is the secondary wall? So in this picture, the secondary wall, ingat keyword dia nak hafal macam mana? Secondary wall yang betul-betul sebelah plasma membrane. So yang betul-betul this is plasma membrane. So yang sebelah plasma membrane ni adalah secondary wall. Okay, secondary cell wall. Okay, dapat ke?
Dapat.
Okay, so the keyword number 1, next to middle lamella is primary cell wall. Key number 2, next to plasma membrane is secondary cell wall. Okay? Okay, so that is a keyword for you, right? And ingat, apa sifat primary wall? Sifat primary wall is thin. It is flexible. Right? Flexible. Okay, secondary wall, sifat dia apa? Thick. Strong. And durable. Tahan lasak lah, kata. Right? Lepas tu, secondary wall biasanya dekat bahagian secondary wall ada, and the wall is perforated by plasmodesmata. Dekat bahagian luar ni lah, dekat luar cell wall. Ada rongga-rongga, kita panggil plasmodesmata. Okay, tu nanti kita tengok Right. Okay, settle this one. Okay. Next, what is the function of the plant cell wall? What is the importance of the plant cell wall? Number 1, the plant cell wall helps to protect the cell. Okay. Number 2, it helps to maintain the shape of the plant cell. Right? Maintain shape of the plant cell. That's why plant cell bentuk dia agak sama. Right? Number 3, to prevent excessive uptake of water. Mengelakkan pengambilan air yang berlebihan oleh plant cell. And number 4, to support the plant against force of gravity. Okay, menyokong tumbuhan daripada gravity. Okay, right. Okay, done with this?
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay, next. Let's go to intercellular junction. Penghubung antara sel. Penghubung antara sel. Okay, so now you have to identify intercellular junction and their function. Right? So apakah penghubung antara sel and apakah fungsi dia? Okay, ini paling senang. Okay, right. So, identify. Okay, meaning to say, bila kata identify, you tahu, tengok rupa, you tahu ni siapa. Apa function dia. So that is enough. Okay, for intercellular junction. Okay. What is cell junctions? Okay, cell junctions are specialized region of connection between cell. Bahagian penghubung antara cell. Right? So what is the function ataupun what is the importance of cell junction? It enable neighboring cell to adhere, right? Membantu sel bersebelahan untuk melekat ataupun adhere lah, melekat antara satu dengan yang lain. It helps the cell to interact among themselves, right? They help the cells to communicate among themselves through direct physical contact. So, membantu sel untuk communicate secara fizikal lah, right? Okay. Okay, next. Okay, there are 3 types of cellular junction. Okay, number 1 that found in plant cell and number 2 that found in animal cell. So for plant cell, the intercellular junction, penghubung antara sel dengan sel ialah plasmodesmata. And for animal cell, the intercellular junction are tight junction, desmosome, and gap junction. Ya, ada 3. Tight junction, desmosome, and gap junction. Okay, so let's start with number 1, plasmodesmata. So remember, plasmodesmata is one and the only intercellular junction in the plant cell. Right? Ia dijumpai dekat plant cell sahaja. So what is the function of plasmodesmata? Plasmodesmata join the internal chemical environment of adjacent cell. Right? So dia tugasnya untuk menghubungkan environment di dalam plant cell. Contoh macam gambar ni. This is one plant cell. This is another plant cell. So, this is the cytosol of the plant cell. This is the cytosol. This is the vacuole. This is the vacuole. This is the nucleus. So, content of the one plant cell. Contohnya, apa yang ada dalam cytoplasm of cell 1 can be transported to cell number 2 and vice versa via plasmodesmata. So, that's why dia menghubungkan internal environment of one cell to another cell. So, it allows cytosol to pass between cell. Cytosol, maksudnya cytosol daripada sel 1 boleh pergi kepada sel 2, sel 2 boleh pergi kepada sel 1. Okay. And as such, water and small solutes, macam ions ke, protein ke, RNA ke, can freely pass between the cell. So, contoh RNA daripada sel 1 boleh pergi ke sel 2 dan sebagainya. Alright, so that is the function of plasmodesmata. Okay, madam, saya tak ingatlah macam mana rupa plasmodesmata tu. Okay, let's see the picture of plant cell. Okay. This one. Okay, kalau lupa, yang ini. Okay, this one. Okay, so this is the picture of plant cell. And you can see here, dekat the cell wall, right? You have a structure bulat-bulat macam ni, and it can form, kalau kita tengok secara dalam sel, dia akan membentuk like macam terusan ataupun longkang between sel ni. So this is what we call as the plasmodesmata. Okay, so that is plasmodesmata. In larger view, right, the plasmodesmata, you can see, ada tak Oh, tak ada. Okay, so that is plasmodesmata, right? Okay, next one. Okay, remember the function. The function is to allow cytosol to move from one plant cell to another plant cell. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, back to the slide here. Okay, so the function of plasmodesmata is to enable cytosol to pass between the cell, right, to allow water or small solutes, sometimes protein or RNA, to pass freely between the cells. Okay, right. And that is all for plant cell junction. Okay, number 2 is the cellular junction for animal cell. Ingat, intercellular junction for animal cell ada 3, tight junction, desmosome, and gap junction. Right, so we start with the first one, tight junction. Okay, so what is tight junction? Okay, here, you tengok ni. This is cell number 1. Bayangkan sel pipi number 1, sel pipi number 2, number 3, and number 4. This is our animal, the animal cell. Contoh sel pipi lah. Right. So between one cell to another cell, dekat sini, there is tight junction. Okay. Itu adalah tight junction. Okay, contoh paling senang. Kita ambil kita punya epidermis cell kita, bawah kulit kita ni, epidermis. Okay, right. Antara sel epidermis dekat dalam epidermis cell ni, bawah kulit kita ni, banyak sel kan? Antara satu sel dengan sel yang lain ada tight junction. So what is the function of tight junction? Nama pun tight junction, dia ketat. So untuk apa tugas dia? To prevent leakage of extracellular fluid across layer of epithelial cell. So the function is to prevent leakage, menghalang kebocoran. You just imagine, kalau tak ada tight junction, right, antara satu sel dengan sel yang lain, your epidermis cell, bila you mandi, air akan telus masuk ke dalam kulit you, telus masuk ke dalam kita punya fluid between the cell. Dia akan masuk dekat celah-celah sel kita tu. So apa jadi kat kita? Bila kita mandi je, kita akan kembung. Right? Lepas tu you pun pergi panas, pergi kelas, jalan-jalan, you pun balik, kurus balik, evaporation. Kan? Alright? So that is the function of tight junction. Okay? Sama juga. Contoh macam apa lagi? Kalau tak ada tight junction, contoh kalau ada pendarahan dalam bawah kulit, kan ada pendarahan tu easily keluar antara celah-celah sel tu. You just imagine that. Okay? Alright. So that is why tight junction is very important. Okay. Right. So the function of tight junction is to prevent leakage of extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid maksudnya cecair luar daripada sel. Okay. Cecair luar daripada sel. Contoh macam inilah mucus, lapisan lendiran. So kalau lendir ni dia boleh masuk kat celah ni dan sebagainya kan, kalau tak ada tight junction. Okay. In term of picture, Madam, macam mana nak faham tight junction? So you look at the picture of tight junction. Tight junction ni bentuk dia macam you can see here, this one, tight junction, tight junction. So kalau kita tengok dia macam zigzag, macam orang jahit baju, zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Right? So that is tight junction. Okay? Right. Number 2. Example, the tight junction between skin cell. So this is example where we can found the tight junction. Okay? Right. Number 2. Tak sempat salin bagi tahu ya. Desmosome. Okay? Nama lain desmosome is anchoring junction. Anchor. Macam pasak. Okay? Datang daripada perkataan anchor, right? So desmosome is ataupun the other name is anchoring junction. So anchoring junction fasten cell together in a very strong sheet. Tugas dia untuk pasangkan ataupun untuk melekatkan satu sel dengan sel yang lain very strong, right? Okay, so contohnya you can see this is plasma membrane of cell number 1, this is plasma membrane of cell number 2. Kalau kita lukis, let's say macam ni lah. Ni sel number 1, yang sebelah ni sel number 2. Contoh. Alright. So antara sel 1 dengan sel 2 ni dia dipasakkan very strong with desmosome or anchoring junction. So anchoring junction is mediated by filaments. So ini filaments. Okay. Right. For example, attachment of muscle cell. So bila muscle nak attach dengan muscle contohnya ataupun so itu menggunakan desmosome lah ataupun anchoring junction. Okay. Madam, macam mana nak kenal beza desmosome dengan anchoring junction? You ingat je, kalau anchoring junction dia mesti ada rambu-ramba ni. Mesti ada filament-filament tu. So itu antara benda untuk you kenal which one is desmosome or anchoring junction. Okay, remember the function is to fasten the cell together into a strong sheet. Okay. Alright, next, number 3. Gap junction, right? Or communicating junction. Nama lain dia, communicating junction. Okay, so gap junction bentuk dia macam kelopak bunga. Dia macam pore. Dia boleh buka, dia boleh tutup. Alright, so the gap junction. Right, so the gap junction provide cytoplasmic channel between cell. So let's say this is plasma membrane number 1, this is plasma membrane number 2. Antara plasma membrane number 1 dengan number 2 ni dia dihubungkan oleh gap junction. So you can see that whatever yang ada pada sel 1 boleh dihantar directly kepada sel 2. So that is gap junction. Okay. So the function is to provide cytoplasmic channel between cell for passage of small molecules like ions, sugar or amino acid between cell. So ini keyword dia, provide cytoplasmic channel. So apa yang ada dalam cytoplasm cell A boleh dihantar ke cytoplasm cell B through the gap junction like ions, sugar, amino acid, whatnot. Example, the gap junction between the cardiac ataupun heart muscle. Gap junction antara kita punya tisu jantung, antara tisu jantung satu dengan yang seterusnya. That's why electric signal boleh dihantar ke jantung dengan baik supaya jantung boleh kekal berdegup. Okay, itu detail nanti you belajar bio tu. Okay, right. So that is gap junction. Okay. So now I combine everything. So tolong jangan tengok apa-apa yang kat tepi ni. Jangan tengok. Jangan tengok Madam suruh awak tengok gambar je terus. Now, jangan tengok any label. Jangan tengok. Don't look at any label. Now look at the picture. Okay. So here is membrane of cell 1 and here is membrane of cell number 2. They are linked together or they are joined together by intercellular junction. Okay, now, so kita ada A, kita ada B, kita ada C. Okay, now tell me, by looking at C, what is C? Jangan tengok any label, tengok gambar je. What is C? Tengok bentuk C tu sahaja, bentuk dia. What is C?
Gap junction.
C is gap junction. How did you know that is gap junction?
Bentuk bunga-bunga.
Thank you very much. Bentuk macam kelopak bunga. So that is gap junction. Right? Okay. So what is B? What about B?
Desmosome.
B is desmosome. So macam mana tahu desmosome?
Ada rambu-rambu.
Rambu-rambu tu. So rambu-rambu tu adalah filaments. Okay. So that is desmosome. Right? And A is tight junction because you can see that the structure dia macam zigzag. Macam very tight, macam jahit yang ketat sangat tu. Okay. So that is tight junction. Okay. So that is your important job, which is once you look at the picture, you know which one is which one is gap junction, which one is tight junction, which one is desmosome. And after that, baru pergi dekat dia punya function. Right? So the keyword for tight junction, apa benda keyword dia? Right? So apa keyword untuk desmosome? Fasten. The keyword for desmosome is to fasten. Right? What is the keyword for gap junction? Dia adalah sebagai satu plasmid channel. Macam tu. Okay? Right. So, okay, another picture you can see from here, right? From top to bottom. So from here you can see that A is tight junction, right? So B is desmosome, right? And C is down here, yang warna oranye ni, gap junction. So if we zoom in, you can see this is gap junction. This is the shape of desmosome, and this is the structure of tight junction. Okay. Okay. All right. So finish with chapter 3. Okay. Any question for chapter 3? Or any part that you tak sempat nak salin?
No.
Okay, tak ada soalan. Alright. Okay, so with that we finish with chapter 3. Kalau tak ada soalan.